All right. Welcome back. Welcome back to your class with yours truly, the counselor, Mr. James Horton. Welcome back. We're in a new location, and I'm going to be kicking off something really uh, impacting open-mindedness and, something that I know you can feel. This evening's class is going to be a class called The Domestic Knees on My Neck. All right? So follow along with me. It's called The Domestic Knees on My Neck. It says, the domestic knees on my neck. As we describe and define the topic of domestic knees on my neck, we will immediately think, feel, and believe the paper is the subject of the George Floyd story. This paper is definitely in very close relation to its story, but reaches a much stronger base and a much stronger arena. The domestic knees on my neck includes the problems of jobs, unemployment, employment status, class systems, caste systems, culture, race, racism, and especially the many problems that we see in domestic violence, knees on my neck relationships. All right? Knees on my neck relationship. It says, please answer the following questions. Number one, are you known to keep your domestic knees on your relationship partner's neck to make them and keep them loving you and respecting you? Are you known to use that, as a control mechanism? If you put enough pressure on somebody's neck, somebody you claim to love, do you think that is going to keep the relationship loving, gentle? What are you thinking? All right. Number two, in most positions you're known to be in or get in, are you known to put your domestic needs on other people's neck to keep them from rising to the same level of position you feel and believe you're on? Are you known to do that? People at jobs, I've been even at different employment agencies and different places, and fairly good jobs, and I just bring all of me to the table. I'm not trying to compete with nobody. I'm just trying to put a light and allow the light to shine in my direction and what I bring, right? As a team. But you will find people, right, that's afraid of your magic, afraid of your blessings, and some of us begin to do things, right? Because we're afraid. We're afraid of being pushed to the side. We're afraid for getting a pink slip or somebody telling us we don't need you no more because we got this person or that person or me, right? Don't be afraid. Don't get out like that, right? Number three. If you were to categorize the strongest area of abuse that you've been known to apply to yourself, to your relationship partner, or others, would it be verbal abuse or mental abuse, or verbal or mentally or physically putting your domestic need on the person's neck you choose to abuse? If you were to categorize the most potent side of your giving to your partner, to your friends, to your associates, would you say that the knee was the most potent something that you put on them, or was it your mouth? Was it the pull downs? Because even physically, not just physically abusing somebody with your body parts, but that mental abuse is just as bad. It's a hold down thing. People do it to their kids, and don't even realize what they're doing, right? So, number four. When it comes to you holding your relationship partner down and keeping them down beyond the George Floyd 9-minute death experience, are you known to keep your domestic domestic knees on their neck or stop when they say that they can't breathe? Are you known to keep your knee on their neck? Because sometimes, just to open this up in an analogy of it, is that we find ourselves getting into arguments. We find our partners telling us to stop. We find ourselves asking someone else to stop. And we just keep going till the other person can't even breathe because we put so much on them, right? We don't know when to stop, and we need to learn how to stop, right? Learn a cutoff point, right? If you got to give a little bit, give a little bit, and then go somewhere else and let that stuff out. Just let it out somewhere. Go outside and scream. Run down the block. Get you some exercise. Walk around the lake. Do something to relieve yourself instead of relieving yourself on someone else and tearing their world up, and your world, because what you put out, you will get back. All right. Number 5. When it comes to living life beneath your means and asking God to give you more, are you known to always stand for something, or have you learned to practice getting on your knees to ask God for that something? To ask God for that something, right? All that standing is cool, but you as well as me, we will have to bow down. We'll have to humble ourselves. Get all that ego out of yourself. You know what I'm saying? And blow that crap out. Just blow it out. Pressure bust a pipe. Blow it out. Right? Inhale, exhale. Right? Okay. Number 6. Domestic knees on my neck. When it comes to you using the knees on your relationship partner's neck to abuse them, are your knees on their neck to put them down, or are they on their neck because you're down and feeling down? A lot of times our behavior says a whole lot that we don't say out of our mouth. We don't say I'm hurt. We don't say I'm feeling low. Oh, we pretend that we're not, and that's not a healthy place to be most of the time. You should open your mouth. It would be better to explain to somebody, I'm not feeling well. I'm feeling beneath myself. I'm feeling low to the ground. I'm feeling like I'm in the dirt, in the mud, right? Just speak about it. Talk about it. Quit being scared. Oh, my feelings gonna get hurt. Your feelings are already hurt. Your head is hurt. You got a major headache in the back and in the front. You got that big vein swelling up on your forehead. And it shows there's something wrong here. But speak about it. Release that stuff. All right? Okay? We'll go. Here we go. Domestic knees on my neck. Are the knees on your neck real or unreal imaginary knees that are stopping you and blocking you from moving forward in life? Sometimes it's like we are so far into some things that not reality. We're so far into saying, if I wasn't with this person, I would be a lot further in life. We're so far into saying, if it wasn't for the system, right? Sure. There are evidence that the system has been doing some wicked things. But as powerful as you are, that you are not realizing you are, as blessed as we are, right? We need to rise above. You know what I'm saying? Because if we get into a place of excuses, if we get into a place, I got reason for being way down here. That is going to become a build-up. It's going to become a higher mountain to climb, because you can't go forward if you got a cliff in front of you. You got to learn to get around the cliff. You got to learn to do some other things. I remember reading one of T.D. Jakes' books, and he was talking about one of the pastors. I don't know if it was Jimmy Swagger or who, but he was saying that in one of the stories, he was just talking about, I think he's mentioned fish, but that's not where I want to go. I'm going to go on this other story he said there was an obstacle on his way to school. He was a kid. He was kind of frightened because all the kids was climbing this big boulder rock. And on the sides of the boulder rock, there were sticker bushes, right? Sticker bushes to where if he fell, he would be very messed up. All kind of stickers would be in his face and body. And he said, he remembered his father had to walk him to that boulder because all the kids was getting over it. He said his father got a chisel and a hammer and chiseled steps into the boulder where he was able to walk over it. So his father had taught him a lesson that there are ways to get over things. There are ways to get around things. There are ways to go forward, even though there may be obstacles in our way. So these things about the knees on your neck. Sure, there are physical needs. There are mental needs that you can put on yourself. It's not always someone else's fault, right? Only you can prevent forest fires, right? Only you. So we're gonna end right here. Thank you all for attending my group, my class. A lesson and a blessing with yours truly, the counselor, Mr. James Horton. Thank you.